Spotted pythons are one of the easiest pythons to keep, but did you know there is one surprising factor in their care that can actually change how often they eat? Can you guess what it is? Hold that thought because we are going to cover everything you need to know about spotted python care, and I promise to reveal the answer later in the video. For now, let us dive into the fascinating and sometimes funny world of keeping Antaresia maculosa, also known as the spotted python, or in some circles even called the children's python's flashy cousin. When you already own a spotted python, you quickly realize they are not the flashy drama queens of the reptile world. They are more like that quiet roommate who never makes a mess, never borrows your clothes, but will absolutely take over the couch when you leave the room. They are calm, beautiful, and surprisingly manageable even for a snake that can reach 4 to 5 feet in length. Now let us talk about how to make your spotted noodle live its absolute best life in captivity. First up, let us talk about their home. Spotted pythons are not picky about decor, but they are very picky about security. For juveniles, a 20-gallon tank works well. Think of it like a starter apartment, just enough space to move but not so much that they get lost. As adults, they do best in a 30 to 40-gallon enclosure. Unlike pets that demand palaces, your python wants something cozy, not excessive. The real key is to provide tight-fitting hides on both the warm and cool ends. These snakes would rather squeeze into a tiny hide than strut around in the open. A secure snake is a happy snake, and a happy snake eats well, sheds well, and stays stress-free. Next is substrate, the flooring for your snake's kingdom. Aspen bedding, cypress mulch, or paper-based bedding all work well. The main goal is keeping it clean. Spotted pythons are not particularly messy, but when nature calls, you will want to spot clean quickly. Think of it like your own bathroom. Nobody wants to walk into a mess. A clean enclosure equals a healthy python, so grab that scooper once or twice a week. Now, heating and lighting. Your python is a master of thermoregulation, which is just a fancy way of saying they want options. The warm side should be kept between 86 and 90 degrees, best achieved with under-tank heat and a thermostat. The cool side should stay around 75 to 80 degrees. This setup allows your snake to choose what feels right. Do they need ultraviolet lighting like some lizards? Number, but a natural day and night cycle helps regulate their rhythm. A simple light for daytime and darkness at night works perfectly. Trust me, you do not want your snake mixing up its schedule. Nobody enjoys a restless python glaring through the glass at 3 in the morning. Let us move on to food. Spotted pythons are not difficult eaters, but they expect regular service. Hatchlings start with pinky mice, juveniles move up to bigger mice, and adults thrive on adult mice or small rats. Juveniles should be fed every 5 to 7 days, adults every 10 to 14. Stick to frozen thawed prey. Live prey can injure your snake, and you do not want your python looking like it lost a fight to a mouse. Safety first, finally handling. Spotted pythons are usually calm once they get used to you. At first they may be shy, but gentle handling helps them settle into docile companions. The golden rule, patience. Avoid handling right after feeding because no creature likes being lifted with a full stomach. Imagine scarfing down a burrito and someone tossing you in the air. Yeah, not fun. Give your snake at least 48 hours after a meal before handling. It saves both you and your furniture from unpleasant regurgitation surprises. In short, give your spotted python a secure home, clean floors, proper heat, a steady feeding schedule, and respectful handling. Do that and you will have a calm, healthy, and fascinating pet. Now let's pause the serious care talk for a little trivia fun. Did you know spotted pythons are native to northern and eastern Australia? They thrive in rocky areas, caves, and crevices, blending perfectly with their surroundings thanks to their spotted camouflage. Despite being one of the smallest pythons in the world, they can still reach up to 4 or 5 feet in length. That means you get the thrill of owning a real python without the headache of housing a giant. Their spotted pattern is not just beautiful, it also serves as camouflage against rocks and leaf litter, which is why in the wild they can sit motionless and nearly invisible for hours before ambushing their prey. Here is another fascinating tidbit. Spotted pythons are nocturnal hunters. While you are cozy in bed binge-watching shows, your python is wide awake, slithering through its enclosure like a midnight ninja. They hunt mammals, birds, and sometimes even bats. Yes, bats. In fact, wild spotted pythons have been seen living near bat colonies and catching bats mid-flight as they leave caves. Now that is a skill. Imagine being able to snatch your dinner out of the air just as it tries to fly away. Suddenly ordering pizza does not sound so impressive anymore. Of course, no good reptile story is complete without some funny keeper tales. One keeper once shared how their spotted python would curl up inside a shoe in the closet, perfectly hidden except for the spotted tail sticking out. The snake earned the nickname Sneaky Sneakers, and the owner admitted they once put their foot halfway in before realizing something was alive in there. That is one way to wake up your reflexes. Another keeper joked that their python acted like a rock with eyes, completely still and boring for hours, then suddenly springing to life the moment food appeared. Spotted pythons really do master the art of surprise. They are like that quiet coworker who suddenly crushes karaoke night. You never see it coming. In our last video, I asked you about whether spotted pythons can recognize routine, scent, and use their heat pits for more than hunting. The answer is yes. They anticipate feeding schedules, recognize familiar smells, and their heat pits help them sense warm objects, almost like having thermal vision. By now, we have covered enclosure setup, substrate, heating, lighting, feeding, handling, trivia, and even a few hilarious stories. But remember how we started with that little question? The surprising factor that can actually change how often your python eats. Well, it is finally time to reveal the answer. The secret is the size and security of their enclosure. A large open tank with no hiding spots might look fancy to us, but to a spotted python, it feels like being dropped in the middle of a football field with nowhere to hide. That kind of stress can make them refuse meals. On the other hand, a smaller, well-furnished enclosure with plenty of hides makes them feel secure. And when they feel secure, they eat regularly. So yes, sometimes less really is more. It is not about giving your python a palace, it is about giving them a cozy cave that feels safe. So there you have it, spotted python care in all its glory. From enclosure tips to feeding habits, from funny shoe stories to bat-catching trivia, we have covered it all. Your Antaresia maculosa will thrive if you focus on security, cleanliness, proper heating, and a steady feeding schedule. And remember, their appetite is not about your skills as a feeder. It is about how comfortable and safe they feel in their little world. Before we wrap this up, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss more exotic pet care stories and fun facts. Drop a comment below and tell me the funniest or strangest place your snake has ever tried to hide. And of course, check out our other videos on the channel for more reptile adventures. Because let's be honest, the world of exotic pets is full of surprises, and your spotted noodle is just one of the stars. Next up, sandbows may look lazy, but did you know they can strike prey in less than 1/10 of a second, faster than the blink of an eye? Their hunting style is pure ambush artistry. But here's the question, what unusual body feature helps them strike with such precision?